you ready for the holidays? I hope you're watching this on YouTube so you can see Cheryl's
I
face.
fixed my hair because clearly this was like last minute.
What do you mean last minute?
Person together. So,
I know,
yeah.
it's so good. Are you ready for the holidays?
Getting there. Getting there.
You have little ones. My son has a girlfriend and she has a son. So we kind of have a little adjacent. And it's weird having a little one to buy gifts for again. I'm not used to that. I'm used to grown-ups who want money, cash. Cash
But
is king.
even at 10 and 12, I feel like my kids are at the age where they don't play with toys anymore.
Right.
Clothes still aren't like fun to receive. So
Right.
sometimes it's like buying toys for the sake of like having something fun to open, and it's cool for a week.
Oh my gosh. Okay, episode 407. Can you believe that? Isn't that weird?
I know.
It kind of freaks me out. I think did we cheat?
I'm trying to remember, like, so how many
fudge the numbers? That's
How many
107 years? We've been doing the podcast for 107 years, maybe 108.
Around, that sounds about right. Sounds about right.
And this one, episode 407, is kind of different because we recorded it in High Point.
Yeah, so if you are just listening, head to businessofdesign.com and watch the actual video of this one. Because coming up is one of the seminars that you did at High Point in the Sunpan showroom. But Daniel Host Club, who partnered with us for them, had them all recorded. So they were kind of too good of conversations to just restrict to those who were able to join us at High Point.
Throw them away. We're not going to throw them away.
Yeah.
Sunpan blew me away. Now, Sunpan is a Canadian company. A lot of people don't know that because they have a big presence at High Point.
Yeah.
And of course, they work
Massive
internationally.
showroom.
Huge showroom. And we used to limit our use of them to commercial projects. More and more, we're tapping into them for some of our residential projects, particularly those where we need to be a little bit budget conscious and budget friendly.
Yeah.
But the conversation in this episode is going to be about how to take more advantage. Take advantage of your vendors, use them, abuse them. No, don't abuse them. But you could get more out of your
Make more money with
relationship.
them.
Yeah.
Make more money with. They don't lose money by you making more money.
Hello.
Is the idea.
That is the idea, right?
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Listen to the show and
Yeah.
then let us know what you think. And by the way, we need some BOD members who have like rocketed into success to come on the show. Like nothing sells our program self-serving, a little library right here.
BOD members make the best guests.
They do.
They really do.
Because actually
We're talking the same language when it comes to systems.
Yeah, and those are the people in the industry who are making the most money, FYI.
Yeah.
When we meet new people who have never been a member versus our members, I can tell you, like, you guys are killing it. So business design, if you're not a member,
Become a member.
Come on, what are you
Yeah.
waiting for? It's just ridiculous. We'll teach you how to run your business and how to run your projects. It's all under one little umbrella, businessofdesign.com. Everything is included in membership that you need to do both of those things,
Yeah.
run your business and run your projects.
And I feel like after meeting so many members at High Point, we should have like called it a club or something.
I
Like
know.
it does feel like this little family once we see people in person, because we literally have, we just got to meet so many members that we talked to for like years and years, and it feels like you really know them. So membership sounds so generic. Like it's a club. It's you're joining a little close-knit community.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Happy holidays. Listen to the episode and we'll talk to you next week when it's episode 408.
Oh my
Come
goodness.
on.
We are thrilled to be here with you at Sunpan. After Kimberley speaks on going deeper with your vendors, right? That's we're going to introduce Carl, who's the VP of Sales here at Sunpan, and he's going to talk to you about what makes Sunpan special, and then you're welcome to go and kind of see what you like. I'm Peter Spalding, the Chief Creative Officer at Daniel House. That's my horrible brother. Alex and I started our business as a design firm, and we grew that together for about 5 years. We still mostly love each other. About 5 years in, Alex in particular was just very frustrated that we that being profitable as an interior designer was incredibly difficult work. It's very unpredictable, especially when you're trying to please your clients with the vendors that make their house feel like a home to them. And so he really, for me, started developing this catalog of all the vendors that we had relationships with. And he said, Peter, would you please specify something from these catalogs? I would like to not go broke. And that's how we started building Daniel House Club. It is now a resource to interior designers. We like to say it's the quickest place to find and actually buy what you're looking for if you're an interior designer. We offer concierge level help, so we know what it's like to be marooned at a job site with something broken and the vendor is like, I don't care. We're gonna be there with you to solve that problem. And I mentioned two of our core values upstairs, which are we put the designer first and we like to have fun while we do it. That's one of the things we love about Kimberley. We feel like we're aligned there. The other thing that we talk about all the time is, not really, is that we like to make things simple, not necessarily easy. So there's a lot of, challenge on the back end into putting together something that we think is going to be really effective for the designers that we serve. And that's kind of why I'm excited to be here at Sunpan. Sunpan was one of the first Canadian vendors we started working with because, as we've partnered with Kimberley over the years, more and more Canadian people are joining Daniel House Club, which we're thrilled about.
And they look just like everybody else. They look just.
Do they though? Don't you specialize in igloo design? No. Anyway, it was initially, kind of scary to start working with Sunpan and moving stuff back and forth across the border. But they have just been the most tremendous partner to us. And really, really gone deep for us and making it really simple. I'm sure it's not easy for them. So I'm excited for Kimberley to talk about how going deep with vendors can really simplify your life. Now you talk.
So good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Daniel House Club and Sunpan. Thank you. So I didn't say this at the last showroom, but I have mentioned on the podcast before, Business of Design has very few sponsors. And the reason is so many of the people and the companies that approach us want to use designers to stand on our backs to make more money and skip us. And we are really clear that that's not what we've ever been about. And so when Daniel House Club came to us, I'm like, nah, I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna get our databases and then they're gonna go direct to our clients. I'm like, nah. So Cheryl met with them. She said, no, I think they're the real deal. They started out as an interior design firm. I'm like, come on, really? And I met them and we went really slowly. And I'm like, these guys are the real deal. And my office uses them for product. And they are as helpful as they say they are. And for those who have been shy about procurement, maybe you think it's too hard, it's too much paperwork. This is really, I told them on the podcast a week or two ago, it's like Instacart for an interior design service because they are as helpful as you think they're going to be. And I love working with them and I love working with Sunpan. I live half the year in Toronto and half the year in Los Angeles, and Sunpan's a resource we've been using for a long, long time. We don't have as many resources in Canada, so we do rely on them quite heavily. For years and years, I used Sunpan only for commercial projects, and I come into the showroom yesterday, I'm like, my God, you guys you're blowing it out of the park now with beautiful product we can use in residences as well. So I want to talk about, at the last showroom, we talked about the fact that when a client gives you a budget, it's not your job to run around town trying to find cheap things to meet their made up budget. That doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for your brand. I don't think it works for the client either. What we do instead is we price the wish list. But when you're pricing a wish list, if you work the way that we do and we present the whole house at step 5, top to bottom, that means we present the kitchen, the cabinetry, the draperies, and the hardware on the little kid's bathroom in the basement. All the things are in one presentation, good to go. That is a huge amount of work, and all that work happens during step 4. And during step 4, we rely extremely heavily on our best vendors and suppliers. When I first started out, I wanted to give everybody business. And so I tried to give every vendor a little bit of business. We bought paint from this company and paint from that company and paint from this company. And what that translated into, I was a customer of those stores, but I wasn't an important customer. And why does that matter? It matters because when something goes wrong on a project, and it will, I don't care how good you are, things will go wrong. If you have a good relationship with a vendor, it's one phone call and they will help you. I cannot tell you the number of times a good vendor has gotten me out of a mess. Maybe it's a mess that I didn't create. It just happened. Life happens sometimes. Or maybe I made a mistake. And my best vendors will say, you know what? You've been a good customer for a long time. You spent a lot of money with us. I know that you screwed this up, but we're going to help you. We're going to come up with a solution and we're going to work together and we're going to help you. And for those designers who come to Business of Design and they kind of refuse to get involved in procurement, they say, well, no, I let my client do the procuring. I give them links to websites and I can't think of a better way for your projects to be completely unrecognizable from what you intended them to turn out to be. And I can't think of a better way to go broke and to not have a good, strong reputation in the industry. What I have learned in the 20 years of Business of Design and 30 years of running my own interior design firm is that my best vendors are an extension of my own company. So if you're a single solopreneur and you think it's just me all by myself, I work from home, little old me, I'm telling you, if you have a good vendor, if you have a Sunpan or you have a Daniel House Club, you are not alone. That is an extension of your company. So you don't even have to think of yourself as a little old me anymore. You're now a corporate we, and you have corporate policies and corporate rules. And I've learned in the last 20 years that our team relies now so much more heavily on our vendors than we used to. We used to go to the vendors and say, okay, we came to the showroom, we looked around, we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this. Now we're able to say, and I think our vendor here is named Melissa. I forget. I don't do the procurement in my office, my senior designers do, but I met Melissa yesterday. Do you have a Melissa? Who's Canada? That's right. Okay, she's awesome. So this is what we do to poor Melissa now. You should give her a raise. Kathy will say, here's the project, here are the floor plans, here's the vibe, this is what we need. Can you come back to us with some product? And our best vendors will spend hours pulling beautiful product for us, and then we get a product, a picture, a cost, a size, we get it all back to us. It makes our job so much easier. And this is something I learned maybe in the last 5 or 6 years. It's okay for you to bill additional time to your clients for the time your vendors spent doing the sourcing. Because what was happening to us, our vendors do so much of that legwork for us, our billable hours are going down. That's not the goal. By the way, you're not playing this video for my clients, are you? Because I really would not like that. That wasn't the goal. But some of our best vendors will actually tell us, you know, I spent 6 hours pulling this together for you. And like, oh my God. So I know that I can bill my clients comfortably that time back. So not only do I become a better customer to my key vendors, and when something goes wrong, they help me, but I can actually use them as an extension of my company. It saves me money. If I have employees, they can be doing other things. If I have independent contractors, it's a huge amount of savings, but I can still bill that time back to my clients. So it's like this huge avalanche of win-win-win. And it's not that I would only go to one supplier. That's not realistic. I'm not going to force a client into something that isn't right for her. If I have a client who's super traditional, some of this isn't going to work. So it's not that I'm going to give 100% of my business to Sunpan. But when I have a client that has this vibe and this is where I go, and then I become a better customer to that vendor. And the more you do that, the more they're going to get to know you, and they're going to be willing to do some of the legwork that your team is usually used to doing, which is really an incredible gift. I have suppliers that I know so well. Like, for example, I have one art gallery. I just sent them a note a couple of days ago because when I fly home tomorrow night, Monday morning, we have an installation, and it's my job. One of the jobs I have in the company is to be the person who sources the artwork for the final installation. But I've been bicycling in Spain and haven't thought about it. So I sent an SOS out to a couple of our favorite art galleries. They know what I like. I mean, I've been working with them so long. They'll say, we have this and this, but I know you don't like it. And I'll be like, yeah, I really don't. So what about this and this? This is the right size. All I have to do is give them the room sizes, the wall sizes, couple of little descriptions of the vibe I'm trying to create, and then I will get back really what amounts to a presentation of artwork, and I can say yes, 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 and show that to my clients. And I didn't know that when I was younger, right? I didn't realize I wanted to look like I knew everything when I came into a showroom. So when they would say, oh, you know, this is made of whatever, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know. But it's okay not to know. I don't sell furniture. So why would I know what the vendor here knows about the quality of the furniture? My job now is to hear those stories, to learn, and then take that story back to my clients and say, I sat in this leather chair myself when I went to High Point, and I know you're gonna love it, it's comfortable. Because more and more, we're not able, most of the places that we live, certainly it's true in Toronto, we've lost, I would say 90% of our furniture stores are gone. We don't have them anymore. In Los Angeles, I would say we've lost half. We're like, it's really weak. So there are times when I have to propose a chair that I know is going to be good quality, is comfortable, but my clients can't go sit in it. So I have to be able to say with some authority, I know the supplier, I know the quality, I know they stand behind it, and you're going to like this chair. And that can be scary, right? So yeah, that's kind of it. Like, use your vendors more than you do. Let them do what they do best, which is source product for you. And the other thing I would say is, you know, I really get in a rut. You know, I like this light, you know, I want to use this light in 9 projects. Well, that doesn't do anybody any favors, right? So I can say to my rep, I love this light, but honestly, we've used it twice now. I can't have any more pictures of it on my website. What do you got for me? And sometimes they'll send me things that I'm like, but I try it and the clients love it, and I learn a new thing to be appreciative about. So you can't have that relationship with every vendor, I would say. That's just not going to be reasonable. But you can have key vendors in all areas. The other thing we've sort of begun to do as we've gotten more systematized and more streamlined is we have a whole list of standards at the office, you know, like a standard, the brand of paint we'll use, the pot light we like best, the pot light that gives the right light that we like the best, the type of appliances that I think a client will like, and the ones we say we won't work with. So if a client says to me, you know, we want a Miele dishwasher, I'll say, we had trouble with 7 Miele dishwashers in a row, we won't touch them, but have you thought about this brand or whatever? And I'm not picking on Miele, that was just, I made that up. Hi Miele, we do a lot of them. But we do have, it makes my life easier when I know that there are just certain things I'm not going to compromise on. And it makes it easier for me to say to the client, I know that this might look like it's less expensive. You went online, you found something less expensive, that's great. I can't tell you about that quality. I can't tell you if it's going to arrive damaged. I can't tell you if it does arrive damaged, what that vendor's going to do to make it right for me. But if you go with my choice, I can tell you no matter what happens, you're going to be satisfied with this product. And if something's wrong, they're going to make it right. And that matters too, because every single person you introduce on your projects is either tarnishing your halo, smudging it, making it dirty, or they're shining it up. And I only want those vendors who are shining it up all the time, because it's hard enough, right? So think about that. Have those conversations with your vendors and let them know you need more help. And what can you do to work more closely together? And then when you have those better relationships, you can also begin to talk to them about your discounts. What can I do to grow my discount? How can I make a deeper discount so my profit margin can come up? How can I sell more of your product to my clients? You know, have those good conversations with them. And we're a small group, so you guys want to just open up the floor to whatever. If I give Daniel House 100% of my business, is that a smart thing to do? Or should I be working directly with each individual vendor? It's sort of, it might be self-evident, but giving all my business to Daniel House Club is going to make my life a little easier. I'm not going to have to build those relationships with everybody. So to the extent that that works for you and you're making the profit margins you need to make, why not make your life easier? Really and truly. And with Daniel House, what you're relying on is that they then have the relationship with the vendor. So when something goes wrong, they don't go, hey, not my problem. Because we've seen a lot of that through Business of Design. So many co-ops opened up, And everything is good when everybody's ordering product, but the minute something goes wrong, everybody goes, not my fault, I don't know who to call. So the advantage is you're letting them be the extension of your team. And the margins are deep, especially if you're working at the level where you're getting free shipping. I mean, I have to tell you, I don't think that's smart on their part, because I think they're throwing money away. But jump in there and take advantage of that while you can. Because I think we actually made a fortune during COVID because they were doing free shipping. I'm like, okay, we're going to ride this train until it crashes.
We talk about free shipping all the time. It's always a topic, but we know some designers really, really love it.
It's a huge perk. But again, you don't have to pass free shipping on to your clients. You're not obligated to not be profitable.
If I could add, I think, yes, we're a great resource. We will take away some of the pain of managing all those individual resources that you and I would encourage you, if you're at a scale where you can have 10 employees and one person can manage all of those vendor relationships, then it's possible we aren't the perfect fit for you for everything. But we're also not an expensive resource, and we are the vendor that will go hours and hours and hours of work for you. And you can charge it back to your client. We're not going to charge you for it. So I think, we would never say you must work with Daniel House Club, but I find, and I work with it actually myself when I do projects, and I'm like, oh, this is great. We have something really nice. So
I think one of the things that I like a lot about Daniel House Club is kind of what I look for with my trades. I like tradespeople who are owner operated. I've had really bad luck hiring companies that sub out the trades, and I just won't do it anymore. So I want to talk to the plumber who's going to be showing up and doing the dirty work, and I have that relationship with them. These guys are so responsive, and you can always get to them. You have like a monthly call.
Yeah, we have a concierge hour every month, which you just were a part of. Thank you.
Concierge hour is what it was called. Yeah, there's no alcohol, by the way. Other than that, was great.
I know, we really need to figure out a way to send everybody a little champagne. We do promise, like a 24 to 48 hour response time. Our VP of Sales, Robert, is standing over there and he's terrific. His team is terrific, and oftentimes things are responded to, in minutes. And if you're looking for a product that we don't have on the site that's from a vendor that that we carry, you can always reach out to us and we'll add it in a day or two for you. So we really are conscious of being there as quickly as possible for you.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you have a team of 20 and you can come to High Point and have sit downs with all your vendors, that's great. But more and more I'm lazy. And I am looking for those shortcuts, but I don't want to sacrifice profitability. And I do need my vendors to back me up and make me look good to my clients. That's really important to me. That's a good question. Thank you for that.